Okay, so this film is called Work-Life Balance Post-Lithium or After Lithium. Um, so I've already talked a little bit about coming off lithium and having that period of time when I was coming like a year. It took me another year after coming off lithium of coming away from that period where I had Lyme's disease. I had some intense physical pains to deal with, lots of fatigue, and food intolerances that I'm still kind of working out now. But my digestive system is much better. My gut's improving all the time, and the way that I eat has changed quite a lot for the better. And you can see I'm not really skinny anymore. That kind of period of real difficulty has gone. And I now work two proper jobs. So I work at a chateau near here, and I clean in the mornings. I help at the weddings. Um, and there's all sorts of kind of future ideas around bien-être, it's called in France. So that's around well-being. So I'll be hopefully working with yoga, with my Reiki skills in that chateau setting. So I've got a contract there for 6 months, and hopefully that will go forward. And I feel like it's kind of somewhere that's kind of got longevity and kind of security, financial security for me, which is amazing. And then the other part of my work life is developing my own business with my yoga business partner, who's called Emmanuel Martin. He's a French guy who I've got to know, and we basically teach yoga together. We're called Mouvement Thérapeutique Intégratif, which is a very long title, but he's a manual therapist, as you might call it. It's kind of not osteopath, but he uses kind of energy, his hands. He's kind of quite alternative, and so he does all sorts of different things to heal people. He's a therapist, and but he's kind of hands-on, but there is kind of a talking aspect to it. And so now I work at the moment 8 yoga classes a week, and that's in 2 venues. So we do Tuesday night, Wednesday daytime in Saint-Giron, which is 25 minutes drive that way, which is our local bigger town. And then on Thursdays, I work in Toulouse, and we have 3 classes a week with adults and children in the city, because we thought that we might be able to find more customers there, and that's where he lives. So we go between the two. And for me, kind of talking about work-life balance, for me that's feels like kind of my personal life, something that's really relating to me, the yoga, because it's something I'm really passionate about, and I've been doing for 7 or 8 years as a teacher, and that kind of spiritual side of me is really, really important in my life. And so developing that and working together and meeting people in the public and doing these collective group classes and helping other people kind of nourish themselves and build themselves up and improve their lives, in relaxation, and teaching them how to meditate, how to stretch out and use their bodies in different ways and breathe better, and all this kind of thing is helping other people. And for me, that's really, 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 really kind of nourishing for me. And the chateau is kind of really interesting in another way. I meet other kinds of people from different walks of life, and the kind of team that I work with are really fantastic, and so that's completely different. And at the moment, I suppose there's kind of a bit more of a work-life balance, um, but I still don't have much of a social life. I've got a really good friend near Saint-Giron, and we meet up and we have good girly chats. Um, and we've been really struggling for money the last year because I haven't been working very much. So we've been really careful with our money, and we've had to kind of keep things kind of really kind of basic. And there've been times when we've had to ponder on, do we buy food or do we put petrol in the car? So it's been really difficult financially, and we don't have any kind of external help here in France. Um, so that's been a struggle, but now that I'm working again, the financial security is just like the last couple of months starting to creep back in, and we're starting to kind of have a feeling of relaxation when it comes to finances. I'm going to possibly move because there's a lot of what do you call it, sun contrast. So let's see if I can find a different spot. Yeah, so where was I? Talking about kind of coming out of what I feel was a period of scarcity, with my health, with money troubles and things, with a year of no working, and now coming into what I call a bit more kind of this feeling of abundance. Um, Feels really nice, and I think having a bit more of a life now that we've got more money will start growing and developing more in time. And um, and we went out for dinner once. What was it? I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, and we hadn't been out together as a couple for over a year, without our daughter. So that kind of thing we need to put back into place, and so we're kind of nourishing ourselves as a couple as well as a family, and doing more things together, like there's little festivals around, meeting up with other people. That there are a group of people that we know over there that we can spend more time with and do things with, and I think that'll be really nice to put into our lives a bit more in the near future. But so we've had like a little triptych here of three videos. So work-life balance before lithium, during lithium, and after lithium. And I'd like to just kind of make a little comment, like an overview, a summary of how I think. Let's see, I'm just kind of on the fly here, but I think the lithium obviously helped me get out of a patch where things were really difficult, on a level of stress, emotional, kind of difficult period that I wasn't managing at work, and that the psychiatric drugs helped me to kind of settle myself into kind of a new state, so that I could go back to work, so that I could lead a normal life, and not be someone that continues struggling with mental health. And so I kind of thank the drugs for that. That it was kind of instrumental in me moving forward in my life, and learning about myself, and the experience of going to a mental health hospital and meeting other really mentally ill people, and having that kind of almost, it was a shock to me how mentally ill people can get. And I was like, I don't want to continue being, I don't want to fall into some kind of, I don't know, that is me as well. I want to be sane. I want to manage myself. I want to manage my life. I want to be able to thrive in this lifetime. And what am I going to do? What am I going to put into place so that I can have a work-life balance, so that I can enjoy myself, I can enjoy my family, I can enjoy my friends, I can work. I can, I didn't want to be one of those people that was kind of on benefits because I would be mentally ill for the rest of my life. I put everything into place and helped myself at every stage, with whatever therapy I needed or whatever, to kind of regain kind of stability and sanity and joy. and and yeah, so I think I think there is a place for psychiatric medication, And I think looking back, I probably could have come off the medication a lot sooner, and not waited 7 years. I probably could have done it at year 3 or 4. Um, but I would say that you have to work on yourself, um, on all levels that you feel is necessary, so that you can regain your own balance, and you know how to manage your emotions, you know how to manage your everyday life, and you know how to have like a good routine and go to bed at the right time, and and not live a life that makes it difficult for yourself to manage. Um, and so so that was kind of the most important thing, for me, to pick out those things, that made life difficult, and what did I have to do to improve that? What did I have to put into place so that I wasn't stressed, so that I wouldn't get so overwhelmed that I'd have to be manic, or so overwhelmed that I'd cry a lot, or that I'd get bullied, or whatever it was, so that I became this kind of whole, confident, strong kind of human being that could kind of stand on my own 2 feet and move forward in the way that I wanted to move forward, or just be present in the way that I want to be present, and be here now with you and with the people in my life in the way that I want to be. Yeah. And I took a big breath there, but it's kind of, it's really, it's really reassuring that a human being who go from absolute kind of disaster to feeling like completely okay and, thriving. I'm thriving in my life now. I'm loving what I'm doing. My work is varied, and my family are healthy. I'm going to build up more of a friendship group, and life is always moving and developing and exciting. So yeah. Oh. And I appreciate it so much. I have so much gratitude, and I guess that's the yoga teacher in me, that I find things to be grateful for, and to notice those things in my life. And for example, one of the life things that we do as a family now is, we actually have a dinner table, which we didn't before. We sit round together and have dinner, pretty much every night, and we kind of say grace or say a prayer, but we're not religious. But we kind of thank the food that's on our plate in front of us and think about where it's come from, and I say a little kind of yogic prayer in my head, and it's my way of thanking and connecting with the food, and with the living plants and everything that I'm going to eat. And then we take a moment to kind of chat together and talk about our day, and we keep it joyful, we keep it light. If there is anything more serious that we talk about, that we need to talk about, like me and my husband, then we don't do that at the dinner table. We keep that kind of time for connecting, talking about what we've been up to, and kind of, yeah, coming together as a family. And that's been a really lovely thing to develop and do much more frequently, because we weren't doing that when I was ill, and we didn't have a table. And I was like into trying out to not have very much furniture and sit on the floor lots, and I had all these different ideas that would keep us kind of healthy and moving and vital and active, but actually it wasn't necessarily, very good for us coming together as a family and communicating better. So yeah, I've kind of relaxed a lot more, and yeah, so that's different too. So I hope that gave you a bit of an idea of work-life balance. if you think there's anything I've missed here, then please ask questions and I could do another film relating to it because it's so broad and detailed, and I feel like I've skimmed the surface here. So yeah, if you've got any ideas on separate things that I could go deeper into, then please do ask and I can do a film on that in the future. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.